Hey, I'm Evelyn Christine, and we're at Women's Motivation Monday at the Brixton 901 U Street. And I have the pleasure of sitting here with my new co host.
Hi, I'm Kendall.
Hi, Kendall. Are you excited to be here?
I'm so excited. I'm like really happy to be here.
And we have the beautiful poet in between us who's going to be dropping some bars and aligning our chakras tonight with her poetry.
Yes.
You want to you want to introduce yourself too?
Hello, world. I am Miss Nightlife of Sweet Tooth Media, hailing all the way from Texas.
Nice.
Where in Texas?
I moved from Houston, but I was born and raised in Dallas.
Okay. So a little bit of did that ever cause any tension? A little bit of Dallas, a little bit of Houston.
Yes, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan.
And I'm sure the Texans did not appreciate that very much.
They do not.
So how long have you been doing poetry?
Oh, wow, since 2011.
That's not that long
Not
ago.
at all.
Oh my goodness! And you've taken off like this.
I've been afforded some opportunities to meet very good people, very in position people.
Oh, so I need to get to know her because I don't know nobody. I need to meet me some in position
People. That sounds very good.
Yeah, and so I just when I started writing to heal, and I just kind of jumped all the way out there, like literally all the way out there. It was just like free falling.
Nice.
So, what you say you were writing to heal? Did something happen? Were you?
Yes. Well, in my writing, I've learned to appreciate being a black woman, and so it was a peril that black women have that we don't really talk about. I went through a really nasty custody battle, and I was angry to the point of causing harm, and so what saved me was writing. Like, it kept me out of jail, literally.
Wow, that's great. That's really great. Especially when you can take that energy and create something. That's always amazing. And it usually comes out like beautifully too. I bet that work was great.
So
It's a lot of cursing.
It's fine. Got you out of jail.
ain't nothing wrong with little hoe, bitch. we're black owned, so we can say what we want to say on here. Hey. So was that your goal with your poetry, just to heal yourself and kind of like restrain yourself, or was it something that you wanted to share with other women? Because I know a lot of times when we have these issues we're overcoming, we kind of become like a wounded healer. And it's like, I've been hurt, so I'm going to spread all this. I'm going to put all of this out there so it doesn't have to happen to the next girl.
It was a little bit of both for me. I began to write to get out of that space. I refuse, we go through things all the time, and the decision that we're left with at the end of the day is, do we stay here or do we press on? And I chose to press on. And so in doing that, I felt totally alone. And so then it was assigned to me. That wasn't my mission initially, but it was assigned to me to help other people because I blogged, and so people would say, I really needed that. Thank you for this story, because we don't have that voice. And so I've kind of walked into this position of being the voice of those who don't have one or are afraid to have one. And so I get really, really raw in my poetry. Almost every piece is about a black woman experience.
That's what you know best, of course.
Indeed.
Yes, that's
Indeed.
great. Where do you find that creativity?
Oh, wow. Just paying attention, being aware in the now. We get so lost in going to work and paying the bills and taking care of the children and doing all of these things that we don't pay attention. Right. So I had to, in order for me to continue to heal, remain a healing piece of work, I had to be current in the moment. And so if I didn't know you or you, and you walked up to me and told me something, if it moved me enough, I would write a piece for you, just as your voice.
Yes.
I'm going through some things right now, so there's a couple pieces you could write a rent due. You could have a ode to Sally Mae piece.
Girl,
We could have a my ex ain't shit.
I got several of those.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
A haiku.
Haiku.
My ex ain't shit. No, I could definitely use a couple of pieces. But you say your main concern was being a voice to the voiceless, and I know that when we have these talents and we are these creatives, we kind of to take on a lot, and try to speak up for people who don't, who can't speak up for themselves.
Right.
Do you ever feel the pressure
No.
of?
There's that.
No. And then let me tell you why. It's because in the past, naturally, it's the Secret Life of Bees, and how Joan, I think it was her name, Joan, the one that would always absorb things that were around her, and she ultimately took her life because of it. I refuse to be that person. Another thing that I've learned in my writing is I can't control what no one else does. I can only control what I do. That's the only thing that I can control. And so you have to, in order for me to define, okay, this is not your stuff, I have to have those real conversations with myself and sometimes those people.
That's very true. Well, that's real that you're able to find that balance, because I know a lot of times, especially artists, you kind of let your art consume you. So it's good that you have that grip on reality where it's like, no, 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 we're not gonna do this right now. You can kind of reel yourself back in before we get off that ledge. So can we go ahead and do a social media drop for anybody that's looking for your poetry?
Absolutely. I can be found on Facebook and Twitter at Simply Miss Nightlife. That's MSNIGHTLYFE. On Instagram, it's Nightlifes, NIGHTLYFES _ Venom. And if you don't remember any of that,
Venom.
That's like Nightlife Venom.
if you don't remember,
That's for the late night show.
yeah. And I have plenty of those pieces too. If you don't remember any of that, I can be found at sweettoothmedia.com. It's spelled just like it sounds. SWEETTOOTHMEDIA.com.
There's a level of like sensual. There's some sultry. She's just oozing like sultry and like femininity and like allure. Yeah, it's a right. But she's talking about black woman and power and having the voice for the voiceless. So I want to know how much of where's the balance? Like, how long are we power to the people, and then when we a little more.
I'm walking closer to an actual balance between the two. If you would ask anybody about Miss Nightlife, it would be she's an erotic poet. I did my.
That's what I wanted to hear about.
I did my first few years up until 2015 with the Punani Poets.
Oh.
Traveling southern states and different things like that with them, and so that's a bulk of what people know me as, but I write more than that. And so being a black woman, we're sexualized, we are put on pedestals that we don't necessarily want to be on. And so I can come here, baby, I can tell you to come here real quick, and then when I finish saying what I have to say to you, you're thinking I'm gonna give you something, and it's just like, whoa, like I need to check myself at the door, because you can't enter my house in that kind of way. So,
Well, I think that some people forget that being sexual and being sensual is part of the experience of being a woman, being a black woman. We're sexual women. We have cravings and needs and things like that. And that doesn't take away from our strength or our dignity or our pride, or that doesn't make us promiscuous or anything of that nature. That you get you somebody that can do both, where we have all of these things inside of us naturally. So you have like the vagina monologues and stuff that explore those things. But I'm glad that we have poets and voices for us that we can get to one, like someone can check out your Twitter, check out your Facebook, and kind of get that on a more personal level. So I think it's dope. I'm going to follow.
Me too. Me too.
So aside, because I know you're going to rock the mic for us tonight, but aside from tonight, for everybody that's not here and that should be here at the Brixton,
At the Brixton
it's
on
not
U
trying to get it
Street.
though because it's a tornado watch, so
And I can't swim.
sugar melts
Or fly.
It
Sugar
does.
melts.
Or fly, right?
Yeah.
So is there any way that people can go to see you?
Yes, I post most of my events, all of my events at sweettoothmedia.com. So if you're in the month of May, is jam packed. to have another event on Wednesday, and
Where
then
we at on Wednesday?
I will be at Busboys and Poets for a
Okay.
spotlight.
Right here on
15K.
Okay. And that's a nice one.
Yeah, Busboys is a good spot.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that'll
you know?
be really fun.
I'm really excited.
So is there, because it's Women's Motivation Monday, and we have a lot of young female listeners and a lot of black women, such as myself, a lot of black women who have all of these goals and have all of these talents and we have these dreams that we're trying to achieve, but it's hard. Like you said, we have bills and we have kids. Well, I don't have kids. But we have bills and we have kids
As
and
a
we have all
collective of black women.
we have all of these responsibilities. It gets hard to find the time or to find the energy to pursue your dreams. So is there any motivation you want to give to our women?
Yeah, it is. If you follow me, you'll know that a lot of the things I say are very real and almost too real for TV, but I'm going to say it. One of my favorite things is two things. The first thing is I love you isn't a password to the pussy. That's number one. The second thing, we're in this era where we're breeding bad bitches instead of great women. And so just remember that bad bitches have bad credit, badass children. And we were trying to usher in good and not bad. So become a great woman, knowing who you are and the power that you hold. And remember, I love you is not a password to the pussy.
You can put that on a t-shirt. I
It is
feel like
on
on a tramp stamp.
You can get the t-shirt at sweettoothmedia.com.
See, she holding out on that. She ain't tell us she had merchandise supplies. You can get the goods.
I have a book. I have.
Tell us about your book.
It's a little old. It's actually not in print anymore because I'm working on my second poetry book and my first novel. But you can get it at Amazon at the name of the book is velvettruths.com. You can also get it on my website, sweettoothmedia.com.
Of course.
Is it short stories or?
It's a book of poetry. Poetry, affirmations, things that like in the brunt of my healing I discovered. So
And when is the next book coming?
the next book, my goal for the poetry book is July
Oh,
of this year.
so that sounds like a Troll for Life exclusive.
Yes.
So we're gonna pick up her book in July. Is there anything you got any more rabbits you gonna pull out of your hat? Is there anything else we need to know?
I do photography.
No way.
I do. It's just for fun. So I do pop up shoots around the city. I also
So can they
paint
check your?
jewelry.
She's a Renaissance woman.
Not real life canvases, but I do paint earrings.
Nice.
So
I like
you do it
afros.
all.
I try to.
You gotta get you somebody that does it all. We're bringing Renaissance women back
Yes,
because
yes.
because I feel like nowadays people feel like they only can play one role. Like you can only be a career woman, or you can only be a housewife, or you can only be a mother. And that's not true. Don't limit yourself. There's so much
Absolutely
more
not.
to life. Anything that you have a passion for, anything you have anything that you're interested in, it's worth
Absolutely.
pursuing.
Definitely.
So, you have anything you want to say, Kendall, before we get up out of here?
I just think that you are so inspirational. I want to know who your inspirations are and who inspired you to go to poetry, because that's not the first way a lot of people go when they're going through stuff. A lot of people decide they want to go yell out in the street or do something else, but you said, hey, I'm going to start writing. So what made you make that decision?
My grandmother, very strong force in my life still, and we talk. I came from a family of conversation. if that makes any sense. And so when I feel uncomfortable, I have to say something. And the first place that I could do it to make sure that I wasn't intrusive in what I said was my pen and my pad.
Oh, that's
where I
beautiful. And who inspires you? What poets inspire you?
Oh, Maya.
Of course.
Maya for sure. Aside from Maya, Audrey Ford, and Nikki Giovanni is my favorite. It's my life mission to meet her.
Oh, man.
Cancers, not necessarily a love song, is the theme to my life. That is my favorite. That is my favorite poet, absolutely. But I feel like you're gonna be a close second, and I'm so excited.
She's already a close second, and I haven't even heard her.
I'm so excited for this book that's coming out in June, and honestly to see all the other things that you have in store. So it was a pleasure having you here. It looks like we lost our live stream, so we're just gonna wrap it up. My name is Evelyn Christine,
And I am Kendall.
and you are listening to Show for Life Radio. Keep it loud.